What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Today, we're talking about Reinier de Ridder's coach finally breaking his silence after the tough UFC loss. De Ridder's rapid climb through the UFC middleweight division came to an abrupt end last Saturday when his coach threw in the towel following the fourth round of his battle with Brendan Allen. Although many fans saw the move coming, given how exhausted de Ridder looked, his coach Harun Askin took to Instagram to explain his decision and clear the air. "Friends, fans and supporters," he began, "I usually don't post personal things online, but I feel I owe everyone who has supported us an explanation. First, thank you for the overwhelming support. It's been a busy and challenging year. Last night didn't go as planned. After a strong first round, things started slipping away in the second, and Reinier couldn't fully recover from the damage." Askin continued, "I made the call to stop the fight after the fourth round, and I take full responsibility for that decision. It wasn't easy, but it was the right thing to do. My job isn't just to coach, it's also to protect my fighter's health. I've been with Reinier for nearly his entire career and saw signs that told me he'd taken enough. If I hadn't stepped in, he would kept going, but it would cost this sport as unforgiving and unnecessary Dan Havel lifelines." He added, "These fighters give everything they have, inside and outside the cage. It's important to remember, they're human. There are no excuses for the loss. We knew the risks, and we're not satisfied with the performance. For now, recovery comes first. We'll reassess and come back stronger next year. I'm proud of how far Reinier has come, and I'm grateful for all the support through both the highs and lows." With that, Coach Harun Askin closed his statement by reaffirming his loyalty and belief in Reinier de Ridder. It's a reminder that in the world of MMA, sometimes the toughest decision isn't to keep fighting, but to know when to stop. Before moving on to the next news, we have a quick request for you. We're always working to improve our content and truly value your support. If you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, it would mean a lot to us. That way, you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. During a recent interview, renowned MMA coach Javier Mendez opened up about what he believes is Ilia Topuria's biggest weakness, a rare insight considering Topuria's rising dominance in the sport. According to Mendez, the key to defeating Topuria lies in one crucial strategy: staying far away from his boxing range. "I'd say with Ilia, you absolutely must stay out of boxing range. 1,000,000%, Mendez explained. "He's got the best boxing in MMA right now. His timing, accuracy, and power make him incredibly dangerous in close range. He's so confident in his boxing that he even believes he could beat Terence Crawford. That's how sharp his striking is." Mendez went on to highlight Topuria's strengths while noting areas that opponents could exploit. "Ilia's boxing is elite, really elite, but to fight him smart, you need to use kicks, knees, and angles. A good Muay Thai approach could help keep him off balance. The biggest challenge is maintaining distance and not letting him close the gap where his punches do the most damage." The American Kickboxing Academy coach also addressed Topuria's versatility. "He's got solid wrestling, and from what I've heard from those who have trained with him, he's got pretty decent jiu-jitsu too. He's close to being the full package, fast, powerful, and technically sharp, but he's not unbeatable." When pressed about what Topuria lacks, Mendez didn't hesitate. "His weakest area is his kicking game. That's the part of his arsenal that isn't as developed as his boxing. If you can stay disciplined, use movement, and mix in effective kicks, you can disrupt his rhythm. Then if you're confident in your grappling, that's another area worth testing. His ground game is solid, but we haven't truly seen it against top-tier grapplers yet." Mendez's analysis paints a clear picture. Ilia Topuria may be one of the most dangerous strikers in MMA, but there are still strategic pathways to exploit. For fighters studying him, staying out of the pocket and diversifying attacks could be the key to survival, and possibly victory. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev is preparing for his upcoming bout against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322 with more than one strategy in mind. While many fans expect Makhachev to rely heavily on his trademark grappling and takedowns, recent comments from his teammate Umar Nurmagomedov suggest that Islam's preparation is far more complex than most think. Heading into the fight, analysts have largely labeled the matchup as a classic striker versus grappler contest. Della Maddalena's crisp boxing and notable reach advantage make him a serious threat on the feet, while Makhachev's elite wrestling and suffocating top control have dismantled countless opponents in the past. However, Umar recently revealed that Islam is not limiting himself to one predictable approach. "Islam is in incredible shape right now," said Umar. "He's a very smart fighter and doesn't rely on just one plan. He's got plan A, B, and practically the whole alphabet. If something doesn't work, he instantly switches to the next strategy. That's what makes him so dangerous. He's an amazing fighter and an amazing friend, and I believe he'll win this belt because he truly deserves." Makhachev has long been recognized for his adaptability and fight IQI. Though known primarily for his grappling, he's evolved into a well-rounded athlete capable of holding his own in striking exchanges. His recent performances have shown sharp timing, improved boxing combinations, and calculated pressure that frustrates even top-tier strikers. As the UFC world waits to see how he performs at welterweight, speculation continues to grow. Makhachev's move up in weight brings new challenges, but early training footage and photos show a confident and powerful version of the Dagestani fighter. His ability to adjust on the fly, whether standing or on the ground, may prove to be the deciding factor against Della Maddalena's striking-heavy offense. In a division filled with diverse threats, Islam's strategic versatility could be his greatest weapon yet. With multiple paths to victory, Makhachev is once again proving why he's considered one of the most intelligent and complete fighters in modern MMA. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall has made it clear he doesn't want to be a heavyweight champion who fights once a year. With his next fight against Cyril Gane set as the headliner for UFC 321 on October 25 in Abu Dhabi, Aspinall is focused on maintaining momentum and proving himself as an active, defending champion. It's been over a year since Aspinall last stepped into the Octagon. His previous bout came in July 2024, where he demolished Curtis Blades in dominant fashion. Now, for the first time, he'll compete as the undisputed heavyweight champion, following Jon Jones' brief retirement and subsequent vacating of the belts. In a recent UFC feature, Aspinall emphasized his desire to stay busy and fight frequently. "I've always been in the gym, but it feels great to have a goal again, to have a clear opponent in front of me," he said. "I just want to be the kind of champion who fights often, regularly, and against the best guys. I don't want to be one of those champions who takes long breaks. That's not who I am. I'm ready to change that pattern. I want to be active, to defend my title, and to keep challenging the top contenders." When discussing his upcoming opponent, Cyril Gane, Aspinall showed both respect and confidence. "He's the #1 contender, and that's what being a champion means, fighting the top guy," Aspinall stated. "I'm the champion, he's the next best. Let's find out who truly deserves to be called the best. That's the way it's supposed to be." Cyril's a unique opponent with a very different style. "I've never fought anyone like him before, but he's also never fought anyone like me." As UFC 321 draws closer, fans are eager to see if Aspinall can solidify his reign by living up to his promise, an active, entertaining, and dominant heavyweight champion who isn't afraid to stay in the fight game's fast lane. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley didn't waste time responding to Zahabi's post-fight call-out at UFC Vancouver. Shortly after Zahabi earned a split decision win over Kito Vera, he took the mic and publicly called out O'Malley. Within hours, O'Malley reacted by posting a brief video on his X account, simply congratulating Zahabi, a response that fans viewed as subtle but dismissive. However, Zahabi didn't see it that way. Speaking to the media after the event, he expressed confidence that the exchange set the stage for a potential showdown. "That's good. It seems like we're setting it up," Zahabi said. "If he didn't want it, he wouldn't have made that video." While O'Malley laughed off the call-out, Zahabi's rise through the bantamweight rankings is undeniable. With 7 consecutive victories, he's earned the right to aim high. Zahabi explained why O'Malley was his target, saying, "I'm confident in any matchup. I'm in the top 10 now. If I'm not willing to fight anyone in the top 10, what am I even doing here? I want to fight the best, and O'Malley is #1. He went on to analyze the division, noting with Merab Dvalishvili dominating right now, it's hard to see O'Malley getting another title shot soon. He's already fought Merab twice. There are guys like Umar Nurmagomedov, Mario Bautista, and Petr Yan who could be ahead of him. That's why I think fighting O'Malley makes sense for me. He's the biggest name available, and I want that challenge." The potential matchup between Zahabi and O'Malley has intrigued fans. On paper, it's a clash between a surging, well-rounded Canadian contender and one of the sport's most dynamic strikers. Still, given Zahabi's current ranking at #9, O'Malley's team might pursue higher-profile or title-relevant opponents first. But one thing, sir, move on to another news. After months of verbal sparring, Belal Muhammad leveled fresh criticism at Garry, accusing the Irish contender of ducking the tough 5-round tests that separate contenders from champions. Although the two are officially scheduled to meet on November 22nd, Muhammad used a recent appearance on the No Scripts podcast to question why Garry accepted a 3-round slot on the Qatar card rather than a full 5-round bout. Muhammad pointed to the precedent set by Garry's last performance and argued that a 3-round limit disproportionately favors Garry while denying Muhammad the chance to wage a sustained championship-style campaign. This should be a 5-round fight. Why is it 3? Muhammad demanded. He's afraid to go 5 rounds. He saw what happened in his last fight. He knows 5 with me will be brutal. So why does he get to choose the distance and I don't? Despite the barb, Muhammad was blunt about his preparation and intent. He plans to start aggressively, break Garry's pace, and finish the fight if the opportunity arises. My mindset is simple, I'm going to break him. I'll start faster and make him fold, Muhammad said. He framed the matchup as a chance to prove he still belongs among the division's elite and to force his opponent into a true test of resilience. Muhammad also weighed in on the larger welterweight picture. The November card follows closely after Islam Makhachev's title shot at UFC 322, and Muhammad offered a prediction. He believes Makhachev can finish Jack Della Maddalena on the ground, citing the unique intensity of Dagestani grappling. If you've never felt that style, you don't want it to be your first time in the cage, he warned. Muhammad acknowledged that even Della Maddalena can make mistakes on the mat, suggesting Makhachev's pressure could be decisive. On balance, Muhammad's comments blend personal grievance with tactical confidence. Whether Garry's team will defend the 3-round decision or release the bout as a 5-round fight remains to be seen, but Muhammad has made his stance clear. He wants a full-distance test, and he's ready to force the issue when they meet. Move on to another news. Joe Rogan recently shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between Alex Pereira and Jon Jones, calling it possibly the biggest fight in MMA history. Ever since Pereira reclaimed the UFC light heavyweight championship at UFC 320, speculation has been growing about a super fight between the two champions. Pereira has openly expressed interest in facing the former light heavyweight and current heavyweight king, while Jones has already stated he's willing to take that challenge. For months, fans and analysts debated whether Jones would agree to fight Tom Aspinall next, but Rogan believes the real money fight lies elsewhere. During a conversation with Andrew Schultz, Rogan explained that if Jones truly intends to face Pereira, he's already preparing for it mentally. He suggested that the matchup could take place at a catchweight of 225 pounds even without a title on the line, simply to determine who is the ultimate fighter. Rogan went as far as calling it the biggest fight in human history, featuring the greatest of all time, Jon Jones, against arguably the most destructive striker the sport has ever seen, Alex Pereira. While Dana White has previously stated there's little chance of Jones fighting on the same card as Pereira at the White House event, that hasn't slowed the excitement or fan discussions. Pereira's dominant revenge win over Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 320 re-established him as one of the most feared fighters in the game, ending Ankalaev's short-lived reign as champion. Meanwhile, MMA legend Fedor Emelianenko recently commented on Ankalaev's future, saying the Russian still has the potential to reclaim the belt if he learns from his mistakes and stays disciplined. As the MMA world speculates, one thing is clear: a Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira clash would transcend championships. It would be a historic battle between power, precision, and legacy, a fight that could redefine what it means to be the best in mixed martial arts.